Boy, folks, it's a sad day in America. It feels like the gaping wound of January 6th never got stitched up, and it's infected and oozing all over the place. I always wondered what it felt like for families sitting in courtrooms trying to get justice for family members who were harmed, praying the criminal would pay for all the pain and suffering they caused, hoping the wretched system would get it right. On the anniversary of J6, it feels like we've watched the criminals not only go free, but they've come back and harmed the whole extended family. In the time since a convicted felon inspired thousands of vicious, violent animals to try to kidnap and harm our government officials and carry out a coup, bad actors have managed to convince millions of people that what we saw with our own eyes was a mirage. Well, more like they've managed to convince folks without spines to play pretend along with them. Meanwhile, the rest of us are marveling at how they square that with adulting. Believe it or not, the pretenders are in the minority. Way more people want the J6ers to pay for being monsters than don't. Most of us aren't into make-believe on behalf of billionaire interests, but the money behind the megaphone spreading the fairy tales is too much for us to match. Billionaires who could literally cure hunger and homelessness if they wanted to have chosen to end America. Full stop. It's not a nation anymore. It's a holding pen for useful morons. It's a powder keg for explosive devices that have only been taught to empty their pockets, hate the libs, and wait for the green light to explode, even if it means they take out their family and friends in the blast. The rest of us are stuck in the tar of awfulness, amazed at how easy it was for bad, racist, rich men to ruin everything. And they're not done. They're creating a nation in which J6 will be remembered as a teaser, like dipping your toe in the pond of what could happen. Once folks start really suffering, and lies about evil Dems being at fault start ramping up via the well-funded media machine, shenanigans like MAGAs climbing on the Capitol and pummeling cops will be routine. That kind of stuff will be their initiation ritual for newbies. They'll earn their MAGA wings that way. That and SA violence. Don't get it twisted. Greg Abbott's billboard campaign threatening migrants that their daughters will pay with their bodies for crossing the border is not about protecting migrant girls from coyotes. It's meant to identify the punishment that men who pledge to end rape and never do think those girls deserve. 4 years is a very long time, folks. When the House Speaker, the man who claims that every action he takes is guided by his faith, is calling Democrats the enemy, you can be sure there is no conscience in the Republican Party. Any way they can hurt us will be on the table. And as long as it results in a few more zeros on the bottom line, the billionaire scoundrels will fund it. The cavalry isn't coming. We're going to have to save our dignity on our own. And we're going to have to get used to holding the line. If you're conflict avoidant, too freaking bad. You're going to have to be ready to stand up. In the grocery store, at the dry cleaner, at your kid's soccer game. It'll be up to you to make sure hate doesn't creep any further. It will be up to all of us to back each other up, show solidarity. We're not outnumbered. The election was a squeaker. Orangina has no mandate. That's a lie. If you try to hide out for 4 years and hope that when you come back the nation will remember what decency looks like, you will be devastated. I don't know what organized resisting is going to look like. I sure hope people who know how to do that stuff effectively are going to tell us. But in my day-to-day, nobody gets to treat people inhumanely without my pushback, and I have no problem raising a ruckus at the grocery store. Because I, for one, am not interested in rolling over and letting the cowards, the liars, the greedy, lazy, bullying schneedles who never made anything of themselves that added to the world, suck the life out of my children's future. Yeah. And to the criminals who dare call themselves patriots, I hope you have the downfall you deserve. Yeah.